Before we properly start, I have to complain about something. And I wanted to put this off, and I don't want to add on to the pile of everyone hating this. But I did it. I updated to Tahoe on my Mac,
Yes.
and I really, really hate it.
Really?
A lot. Yeah, I've been desperately trying to find a way to go back. Anytime that I've tried, it keeps erroring. I don't want to be on Tahoe at all. It has a few areas that have been great. The colored folders is useful. The live activities or whatever it's called, very useful.
Yeah.
And I don't actually hate the design too much. I didn't like it immediately, but once I started to customize it back to how I had it on my last Mac, and well, not my last Mac, but my before I updated and I put it on tinted, I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
None of that bothers me. What bothers me is how unstable it has been on my Mac.
Really?
It has been awful. My computer now overheats way faster than it did before. I can only have... So I tend to have a lot of apps open when I'm working. I have After Effects open, I'll have Illustrator open, I'll have Lightroom open, all very power intensive stuff. But my Mac
Yeah.
has always been very good at allocating for whatever I've currently got open.
Yeah.
No longer the case. Everything, my virtual memory gets full in a matter of seconds, so I can't have as many apps open. I just having nothing up already fills up my virtual memory as well. Just having the OS loaded.
Mm.
And I'm not that far behind. I'm on a MacBook Pro M2.
Yeah. No, that should not happen.
I am not happy at all with that. And then I tried using the new Spotlight, and 1 out of 10 times, it is the size of the screen, and I cannot read anything. So I'm not having a good experience with Tahoe, and I'm desperately, desperately trying to go back.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I do think it's just you though. I don't have any of those issues. Maybe it's your specific model, perhaps.
I have been listening to a few podcasts that tried it before, like when it first came out, and I thought these problems would have mostly gone. But it seems like it's random. Some computers are having these problems, some computers are not. And this has been the most unstable OS I've ever updated to. I haven't been using macOS from the beginning because that would be impossible for me. I know that they were quite unstable towards the beginning, but this is the most unstable I've ever used.
Oh well, you can't go back, so you just have to wait until it gets patched.
So in the App Store, you can download the OS and try and do it that way, but that errors for me. The other way is downloading it from the website and flashing your computer with it, but that sounds terrifying. Or the third option is literally almost factory reset. You back up and you go back to the original OS that was installed on the Mac.
Mm.
I'm just going to stick with Tahoe, and if someone has any suggestions that doesn't involve any of that, I'll happily go back to, what was it, Sonoma? I can't remember which one was the last one now.
Well, I don't know anymore. I don't know. Oh no, I know we're on MacOS 26, so I don't know what the last one was.
Yeah, so Tahoe, screw you.
Well, the new one will be around the corner, won't it?
Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping they're going to tone it down a bit, actually. And also, I thought I'd finish complaining, but the corners also bothered me. That was the first thing that I noticed. With the apps,
Oh, the rounded
yeah,
corners?
the rounded corners, when you've got multiple apps at different rounded corners. Go back to how it was before.
I don't like the way the cursor, the pointer changes when you resize a window. I'm used to it now, but I still don't like it.
Oh, do you know what? I've been looking at that going, what the hell is that? And now I've only just realized what that is.
Yeah,
It kind of curves to wherever. Oh, no, yeah, no,
yeah.
I don't like that.
But that's my only complaint.
They didn't need to update the cursor. Actually, I don't think they needed to update half the stuff they did. The cursor, the the bin's all right, but yeah.
So didn't the guy who designed this just recently leave?
Yes, he recently got a job at Meta, so Meta can have liquid glass design.
And maybe that was like his last ditch. He knew he was on his way out and he said, you know what? I'm just going to try it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I'm out.
I don't blame him. I don't blame anyone on the design team. I think it's a matter of Apple went, oh no, Apple Intelligence went really badly wrong and we rushed out the door too fast.
Yeah.
Let's rush another thing out the door very quickly to try and protect ourselves from the last thing we rushed out the door.
Yeah.
And it's not ready. We need probably another 2 more years until all of this looks right. And who knows for Apple Intelligence? Probably 4 or 5 at this point.
It might work. Apple Intelligence might actually work by then.
Anyway, on the happier subjects, it's almost the end of 2025. So, it's our essential picks. We've got to go through everything that we've used in the year, everything that we've liked, tech product wise, or actually just product wise. Both apps, software, music, films, TV, everything. And the first one is products. Now, I'll go first because I know very much as well that you haven't done everything yet. So, my first pick has to be something that I've been using a lot of, and I'm currently using, is the Fujifilm X-H2S, which is what I'm using as my webcam at the moment. If I didn't buy this year, I wouldn't have had as much work to do and as much opportunities to just go out and take photos. Like, I've thoroughly enjoyed shooting in black and white on that camera. The black and white shots look beautiful. And if you've been looking at my Instagram, I've been posting a lot more black and white photos recently.
Can I just butt in and say, you have to say that that's your favorite product
Yeah, I know.
because you spend so much money on it
Yeah.
and you don't want to upset and embarrass yourself for spending that much money. So you're justifying the purchase.
And I do not regret the purchase at all. Like, when I first brought it and there were a bunch of these announcements, I was like, oh no, I should have waited a bit. But I think it is absolutely fine for what I do on a day-to-day basis. And it's been so useful for doing uni projects. Like, I have friends who have been asking me to take photos just so they have the basic assets. It's such a useful camera.
Yeah.
And that 6K, it's useful. I've never shot any footage on it because I don't have an SD card that can have that much data at once. And I'm not even shooting in ProRes yet. I'm going to do that at some point. I need to get a new storage, but bad timing because storage has gone up in price.
Has it?
Yeah, quite a bit, along with RAM, which everyone else knows about. But yeah, I've been paying attention to all these micro SD cards and CFast Express cards, and they're all just going up and up and up and up.
Yeah, micro SDs. I mean, I wouldn't go any bigger than 128 gig on an SD card, to be honest, because once you get into 256 territory and you lose it, well, I'd rather have 2 smaller cards.
I will say, if you, because this is kind of like a recommendation for other people to go and grab their own cameras and stuff like that. If you do get the Fujifilm X-H2S, I highly recommend you also go for a 35mm lens. As much as it's kind of limiting, the limitations actually work better to how you take photos and stuff like that. If I just use the 35 to 55mm, you'll keep changing your focal length and it won't be as sharp and you won't have as good f-stops.
So do you prefer fixed?
I prefer fixed now. So I tend to take photos and shoot with a fixed focal length.
I think fixed lenses, as a shooter of any kind, photographer, videographer, they make you more social. You're forced to step close to people and explain yourself if you have to. You're forced to get in the mix of the action.
As well as the fact that you're not messing around with trying to zoom in and all that. You have to get up close. You have to get these shots in this way. And it's just way nicer. I always bring the 18 to 55 with me whenever I go out for one of these shoots or anything. But I almost always leave it in the bag now.
Yeah.
What's your recommendation?
Okay, so are we saying recommendation or our favourite?
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Okay, so my hardware or product that I got this year that it's kind of made a big difference in my life, and I'm surprised I never got one before, is I bought a NAS this year.
You brought a NAS? Ooh, which one? What do you get?
So I bought, because that stuff is way too much for me in terms of technical, I just want it to work. So I got the Ugreen NAS.
Yes.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I've been meaning to get one.
Yeah, so I'm running at the moment. I've just started small, so I've got 4 terabytes running it in RAID 2. I'm gonna have to quickly double that soon. But yeah, loving it. I love working centrally because I've now got an office. I'm having to move things around a lot more, so working from a NAS really suits me. And I like being able to have my DVD collection in one place as well, which is really cool. A cool bonus for me too.
I'd love to have a NAS because at the moment every year around about this point, I sit down and have to clear my entire computer of all of its storage. Otherwise, it'll just be packed all the time. And it means I have to get rid of past footage that I probably could have used in the future.
Yeah.
And I always miss out on that. It'd be nice to have a NAS. So I'm very glad you said Ugreen because I've been eyeing up one of those for a while. And when you said I've got NAS, I was kind of worried you're going to go for another company. But Ugreen seems to be the best entry level NAS at the moment.
Absolutely. You can use whatever drives you want. And as you know, hard drives are not cheap, even if you're going for spinning discs. The OS is great. It's just like macOS really. And the Photos app is what really sold me on it because I'm paying for Apple iCloud, but then I back that up with my Google Photos, which I pay for, and my Google Photos is getting full, and I think I paid 30 quid a year for that. So I just decided to look for a NAS with an app. Synology do it, but they're very restricted in what hardware you can use. And Ugreen have a Photos app that has AI built in, local for faces and things like that. And I've just moved everything across.
Ugreen is one of those companies I kind of trust at the moment. That can always change at any moment, but if I go to look for a new charger or anything, I'll check Ugreen first.
And that's how they got me. I've got a couple of their adapters for my laptop.
Mm.
So I trust the brand. But yes, that's my favorite purchase. It's a boring one, but it's essential and it's changed the way I work and it's made me feel a bit more confident, especially when I'm dumping footage if I've just done a shoot and I can clear my footage and carry on.
Another one that I'm going to recommend from my side is the Cobra 2, I think. Yeah, Cobra 2, which is a monopod I brought towards the beginning of the year.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a flute.
No, you maybe think it's just a monopod, but right now I have the bottom part of this holding up my camera as well, which is kind of like a little stand for it. So it means I can leave the GoPro standing there, and if I want to go lower, I take off the monopod and I attach it to the bottom bit. And it's, you know me, I like hot swappable stuff that can be made small or large. So this has been very useful for shooting stuff. Yeah, for transient radio yet again. We would not have been able to do the London live stream if I didn't have this, because bringing a huge tripod is not something we could fit in.
And the tubes and
Yeah, so like it was like a clown car. We had all of us stuffed inside of it to try and get up to London. If I brought that tripod, we wouldn't have been able to do it.
yeah.
I brought this just before, and it's been a lifesaver ever since.
Nice.
And it's actually pretty much the way I do all my videos now.
Oh, that's cool.
If I do any close-up shots or B-roll shots, I'll swap to the big tripod. But if I'm just standing around, it is a bit of a wobbly tripod, so it's not great for footage. You have to leave it for quite a while, and usually I use my phone for that afterwards to start it. Right, your turn again.
Okay, so I'm going cheap now. This is cheap, but I can't live without it. I've actually got two of them. As you know, I'm currently, well, just finishing up building a new studio for a video and needed some RGB lighting just for accents. So I got the magnetic little RGB square lights. They were like 20 quid each. And these are the best little things I've purchased. And they throw out a lot of light. So I can't remember the exact model number, but they're little LED square newer lights. They've got RGB, they've got the effects on, and I can stick them to bits on the wall where they've got kind of metal strips under the plaster.
I feel like every person dealing with film in some way has a newer bit of gear somewhere.
Yeah.
Ironically, as you said that, the bit that I have just died battery-wise. I had my studio light pointing at me while we were recording, and it just died when you said newer. That's good timing. I've been looking at lights like that, but from Aperture, the really expensive ones. So maybe I should try and look cheaper, because...
Look cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have, as you go up and up and up, you can get app control and, brighter lights and bigger. But for if you're just looking for accent stuff or maybe something to throw on your camera if you're shooting in a situation at night, they're great. And they're 20. I got mine for less than 20, but I think they're about 20 quid now. I'm thinking about getting two more. And it's not listed, but you can run them off a USB as well. So they're meant to charge on USB, but if you keep the USB in, they just stay on forever.
Okay, that's very useful.
That might be a fire hazard, but they do work.
Just the Eli warning at the end. Might be a fire hazard.
As long as you're in the studio to see it happen, it's fine.
And it's Christmas time, so maybe you need a fireplace to keep you warm. My next pick is one from Tulsa. I've also got a cage which I keep on my camera, which is great, but I haven't used it that much, so I can't recommend it. What I've got is a little battery container, right? Which just has a USB-C on one side. And it's both a nice looking container that's quite rugged, and it just charges my batteries in them.
Oh wow.
They have a few of these supporting different models, your Sonys, your Canons, your Nikon. This has been great just because I can quickly put the lid on it and chuck it in my bag, and it's been great.
So what batteries are in there? That's your camera
Yeah,
batteries.
so that's the NPW235s. It actually has it written on the side which battery is on it.
Do they do them that support multiple different types,
No,
or is it okay?
it seems to only be one type. There was a company I was closely watching for a bit, but I ended up going with this because it was cheaper. This was about £30 to £40, which is not too bad, I thought.
That's good.
And yeah, as I said, been very useful and has now become one of those things that stays in my bag all the time.
Okay.
Your turn again.
Okay, so this one is something I just realized is super essential. I use it every day. As you may know, I drive a Tesla. Even though I've had it for 18 months, it's lost more than half of its value, which is not great. But this year I added a cluster dash to my Tesla. So third party dash, because Teslas only have the screen in the middle. So now behind my wheel, I've got Apple CarPlay. It's got an additional camera. So I've got a new front camera, which I can see, which is great if you're not really good at parking like me. And it can have lots of different fascias for your design when you're driving. So I can see my speed in front of me. The bad thing though is it cost me about 300 quid delivered.
What, really?
China, 280 odd quid in the end, yeah. And now another company who are known for making amazing Tesla third party gear are releasing one in January and it costs £200 or just over £200. So maybe I should have waited.
So you added more screens to your car with a giant screen in
When you say it that way, it sounds stupid. And you know
it.
what? To make it even worse, the reason I got it is because I wanted CarPlay and Apple don't support CarPlay. And if you follow the Apple rumors, code has been found by, is it Gurman, who's the Apple scooper,
I was literally about to say that, yeah.
to show that the holiday update that we get at Christmas, which is normally our big feature update, is going to have Apple CarPlay on the car. So my best purchase turns out to be the biggest waste of money, but at least I got a good 9 months out of it.
Wow. I don't know what to say. That's incredible.
But if I get CarPlay, I can have Waze in the middle screen and Apple Maps on the side on the front screen at the same time.
Do you need them at the same time?
Listen, like you with the camera, we have to justify these purchases.
Yeah, all right, fine. I'll give you that.
Mm.
My next pick is one that I can't show you because again it's in front of me. Is the Bololo desk shelf. It's a German desk shelf with hot swap ability again, so you can screw different components into it and have a shelf. Or for me, I have a MagSafe holder, so I can just quickly attach my phone to the side and put it in standby. It's been really useful. It's also fairly expensive, but I thoroughly would recommend getting one. Just a desk shelf is nice anyway to kind of separate what you've got on your desk around.
Yeah,
Germans, they're good at stuff. They're good at making good products.
they are.
Sturdy.
They're just normally very expensive.
It is very expensive.
Am I out of tech? I think I'm out of tech now. I've bought lots of boring tech this year. Essential tech, I'd say. I'm just refining what I have and making sure things work properly.
I can run through a few more things that I've got. One is what you've got on you right now to record this episode. I've got the DJI Mic 2. I brought that earlier this year, just on its own. That's been fairly useful. In fact, I did a video. I've recorded a YouTube video where I talk about my phone and what I've got on it to kind of have an extra bonus video to advertise this. And I forgot to put this on. So it sounds awful.
Do you feel like everybody's using, like DJI have taken over the microphone space? There are probably equally good or maybe even better mics out on the market, but DJI seem to have taken and become mainstay, especially for TikTokers and YouTubers.
I think Rode were definitely on top for a while.
Hmm.
I think it's actually about the looks. I think a lot of people like the look of the DJI mics way more than the Rode mics. I know I did. And I know a lot of people also cover up the DJI logo. I don't mind it being there because usually when I put it on, I mount it underneath my clothes so it's not visible.
Yeah,
And I think it's more compact.
it's a much better package, yeah. Once you put it all in the box, the Rode you have to buy bits for it to work with. All DJI comes with everything. But my biggest peeve is people holding the DJI mic in their hands like it's a handheld mic. I can't stand it
I've not seen people do that. Do people do that a lot?
all the time. In fact, I saw a news broadcast out doing it on the television, holding the DJI mic like this with the dead kitten on the top. Please don't do that, people. If you want to hold it like a microphone, buy a handle. They're really cheap and they just look a bit more professional.
I've been attaching it to my camera. Whenever I've been like pointing it forwards and I'm taking photos, I've been attaching it there. That was the whole idea initially around doing the photography podcast.
Okay.
I ended up moving it because it did still pick up a lot of noise for me, moving the cage as well.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't a good idea, it turns out. Last thing to mention. So I got an iPhone 16e this year, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the case for it. I've really enjoyed having the rugged case from D brand. It's been really nice. I do love my phone a lot. I watched a video today or yesterday. Yeah, today. From Marcus Bradley, where he said the iPhone 16 was one of the biggest flops of the year.
Really?
Yeah, screw him. I love this phone. I think it's a great phone. It's perfectly good for what I need. The only downside was the fact it has MagSafe. I didn't have MagSafe. That's the only thing that annoyed me, and that's why you got to get the D brand case if you get this phone.
It adds MagSafe.
Yeah.
God, Apple is so tight. Why would they not put MagSafe in
I
it?
don't know.
That's crazy. Especially for drivers, rely on MagSafe now because most car mounts are MagSafe.
That's one of the things I bought my dad for his birthday.
Nice gift.
And I've got like a runner-up bit of tech that should be coming out next year that I wanted to mention. It's called the Sleeve Note. It is pretty much just an iPod.
An iPod?
Pretty much.
Okay.
It's just a very simple screen with buttons on it.
Okay.
And a headphone jack. But I'm kind of looking forward to just having this to be a separate music player.
Yeah.
I want to give it a try because I know it's nostalgia speaking, but I really do miss the iPod and how it all works. And I've always preferred having an app that's very good at doing that thing. So that's always carried on to my technology as well. I'd rather have a camera that's really good at taking photos and video than relying on multiple cameras on one phone.
I agree.
So yeah, I don't want to give it a try.
I think what you'll find is I've got a music app now that's built into the Ugreen software, and I've just loaded the music I own onto it. And there's my iTunes library. It's not huge. I think it's like 100 gig of music that I've put onto iTunes from CDs. But having that on an app where I can't stream anything from, it really helps me focus on the music I want to listen to and discover or rediscover the music I have without getting distracted. And there's something to be said for having media in a walled garden, if you like, because music is made to be listened to like that.
Yeah, I really miss my iPod Nano, the small one with a screen on it. I've always thought that was a great way of listening to music. I think this does let you connect Spotify and stuff to it, but it encourages you not to, because the whole thing is about paying straight to the artists.
That's how I think about music. I guess I've seen music. It's the first time I'm thinking about this. I see music as almost like a computer game. Like it's a completion thing for me. I have to complete it and then master it like over and over and over again until I can really understand it. And sometimes that takes years. I'm still listening to albums from like 1994 and remembering the first time I heard it, like literally, and hearing it differently after hearing it, once a year, twice a year. And I think you should listen to music that way. And streaming encourages you to listen to it and forget it.
I think differently to how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like listening to the same song over and over and over again. I'll have my favorite songs and I'll buy them on vinyl.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I've always seen myself as a fast consumer of music. I would rather find a new song, celebrate that song, go on to the next song.
I think that is a new way, for sure.
Okay, that's everything tech.
Hold on. Spotify Wrapped. Are we talking Spotify Wrapped today?
I wasn't planning on it, but yeah, go ahead, shoot.
What's your listening age?
47.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
My dad's was like 25 and my brother was 74.
74?
Yeah, and I had some friends at uni who were around 90 as well.
What are they listening to?
What's yours?
I'm not on Spotify, so I didn't get a listening age.
Yeah.
But I imagine my listening age would be bang on where I am, like in the 40s somewhere.
I've been hearing a lot of people talk about how much they don't actually like these apps at the end of the year that summarize it. I love it. I think it's great. Like, I'm kind of annoyed that Pocket Cast, the app I use for listening to podcasts, hasn't done one this year. They did one last year, or maybe the year before. I'm a statistics person. I find it fascinating to know how much time I've spent listening to this or playing that. It's fun to have, I think.
But this is also these companies showing their hand a little bit and saying, this is all the stuff we know about you. And there's a thin line. I think they can tell us the fun stuff, but they don't want to tell us too much because then we might start to second guess about how much information we give away. And here's an example. Tesco's Club Card do it. And I was listening to the Tesco's Wrapped on the radio. They were highlighting some of the things people were saying was on their Club Card Wrapped. And there's a lady who found out she was the top buyer of vegan sausage rolls in her postcode for a certain month of the year. And so when it gets that granular, I would start to question of whether I want to give this information and maybe not use that card anymore. Is it worth the £2 worth of savings I get per month or something?
I like the fact, though, that you are learning this knowledge. The fact that we have access to that data is better than if these companies kept it all for themselves and just monitor it all the time. Even though that's still what they're doing,
Yeah.
but we are getting to see what they can see. Like this year, they also introduced the YouTube recap or whatever it's called. And this is the first year that I've been using apps and stuff that don't record my history at all. I don't have a YouTube history. So I had nothing this year. I still think it's interesting to learn all this data. I'd rather have access to it than to not see it at all.
Yeah.
Like Google, they have so much data on us that they sell on to other companies,
Yeah.
but we never get to see a single bit of it.
No, because I think they are so big. If they crack that door open, they open themselves to all sorts of criticism and investigation and conversation that they just might as well avoid.
Hey, EU, you need to put a thing that says for every bit of data that they collect of each person, someone earns 2p from it. The person who has that data or is giving them that data. That should be how it works.
Yeah, for sure.
It should be a really small amount so it doesn't get like you can't say each person it's £1 because it would be far too expensive far too quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, apps and software.
Okay, I don't have many for this, so I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, of course, how kind of you. The first one I'm gonna actually I'll do two at a time because I've got a lot. The first two is Zen, which is my replacement to Arc, which was my browser choice last year, but Arc got shut down. Well, not shut down. They're losing support slowly, and I kind of thought I'd just jump early. And Zen is literally Arc, but made in Firefox. And since then, there are now several browsers that have that system, and I have got all of them installed on my machine.
Who needs more than two browsers?
I have been swapping between each one, testing them, finding out which one's the right one, and Zen is still the one I'm sticking to, primarily because it's got widget support. The other ones are using Apple's system in the background, and for the most part, they haven't got access to Apple's widgets. Safari does, but they don't have any plugins or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So I can't swap to them for that, but they have got better animations, and they're faster than Zen. Not by much, but they're definitely faster.
Okay, cool.
The other pick of mine would be Parcel. Parcel is an app on the iPhone that tracks your parcels. That's literally all it does.
From any provider?
From Amazon, it automatically adds them, but from every other area, you have to add the code in and the name of where of the company, like FedEx or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it will just track it for you instead of having to go on these websites each time. It's a very simple app. When you're not paying for it, it's for free parcels at a time.
Yeah.
But that's been fine for me because I don't order that much online anymore. But that's been a fairly useful app to me. That's my two.
Oh, lovely. Well, you've just matched my whole output. So I've got one that I think we might have talked about before. So we talked about which AI do you use the most, and it's been about a month since then. Well, in that month, my AI usage has completely spun on its head, 360. I did say I was using Gemini, I believe, at the time. Now it's Perplexity and only Perplexity. I've got Perplexity Pro, and I use Comet Browser, and it's the best browsing experience I've had with the AI agent. It's just changed my life.
I downloaded one AI browser, which was DIA,
Yes.
from the Internet Browser Group, who made Arc, and I didn't get on with it, and I haven't tried a single AI browser since.
Well, Perplexity is literally Chrome. It's Chromium browser with, Comet, sorry, with Perplexity built in, and it's just super useful. I don't think I can actually live without that browser now, the way I use it.
Chromium is a big negative to me. I'm already out on that one.
Really?
I avoid Chrome whenever possible
Okay. Why is that?
because it's too power intensive and it's owned by Google. I went from being a full on Google supporter in like 2016 to I now have one Google app that I use. I don't even use YouTube anymore.
Yeah.
So I just don't trust them that much.
Okay.
I did use Perplexity. In fact, I had, when I was on Arc, I had it set to education. So anytime that I do some research, it would have it in Perplexity. I never signed in or made a Perplexity account, which caused a lot of problems because it meant I couldn't recall it when I had to give examples of me using AI.
Yeah.
One of the things I actually had written on the list was Claude. That was one of my recommendations. And I'm still using Claude to this day.
Okay.
Again, like I said earlier, I'd rather have a device that's really good at something or a app that's really good at something compared to here's an app that does multiple things in one. So my browser stays as its browser and my AI stays as its AI app.
Maybe what's made my Perplexity experience better than my experience in other AIs is that it's a paid for version. And that does make a big difference
Mm.
in removing those limitations, and just being able to use it freely without being told you've used up all of your tokens for whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. My other app is not an app that I've downloaded. It's an app that is part of macOS but has improved drastically with macOS 26, and that is iPhone mirroring. If you don't use the iPhone mirroring app,
I forgot about
because it
that.
used to be rubbish, is now really, really solid. I don't know what they've done or when they've done it, but all of a sudden it's fast. It's great for my other job. I have to do a lot of two-factor authentication.
Yeah, I fully agree. Being able to just quickly search up your authenticator of choice and it just opening up the app is so useful.
Absolute changes my workflow.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it for the car now. I know you watch MKBHD, and he's just done the Xiaomi car,
That was fascinating.
and they have the mirroring of the Xiaomi phone on the screen, and I thought, oh, this is next level. So they have that, but for your car screen.
That is a good shout. I
Yeah.
entirely forgot that app exists, but since swapping to Tahoe, that's probably one of the biggest features I actually use of it.
Yeah, it was broken for the whole last operating system, whatever that was called. It would time out, and then it would only let you do a secondary click on your phone. Whenever you tapped it, it would be secondary click, and you'd have to reboot the
See,
whole phone.
I didn't have that problem. See, you were the tech problem with the last one, and I'm the tech problem with the current one.
There you go.
But that does remind me, I've now got the bloody journal book, and I can't get rid of that. So the journal app, like
Yeah.
why, why Apple do I have to have a journal app on my Mac?
Have I got one?
I can delete it from my phone perfectly fine. That's easy. It is stuck on my MacBook. Same for the games. I don't play games on my Mac. Why is it there? Okay, so another app to recommend. Actually, I do three this time. Raycast is still what I use to this day, and I cannot live without it. Apple just pushed the new Spotlight, and it looks lovely. It has lovely animations, but Raycast still has all of the features I will ever need because I can just keep adding more to it because it's partially open source. My next recommendation is Transit, which is a public transport app that just tracks trains really well, calculates when I should leave my building, when I should leave home to catch a train, or when should I leave uni to catch a train back. It's been incredibly useful, and I'm top of the scoreboard for where I live, so I'm happy about that because it's a scoreboard system.
Is it because you're the only person in your area that uses
I
it?
have a feeling that might be it because I checked the scoreboard, and the last time that anyone updated to it was 2 years ago, and the app came out 2 years ago.
There you go. Okay, that sounds cool. I've got apps that are new to me, but not necessarily new to everybody else. So this one is something that I used a lot when I was on holiday. It's a finance app. And, we all use internet banking all of the time. It's become second nature now. In fact, I bet you couldn't imagine writing a check or using a bank book as I did when I was younger. And I'm with Lloyd's currently in their app. I always show off to people that Lloyd's have the best banking app, I thought. But the banking app that I started using on holiday was Monzo. Monzo had some really good rates for exchange, so I decided to go with them. And the app's brilliant for sharing, splitting bills. It's secure, it's fast, it never crashes, and it really clearly shows you what's going in and out, and it speaks in layman's terms, not banking terms.
It's the modern design, I think, that really speaks well to most people. They did have a data leak
Oh, don't tell me that.
about 4 years ago, so you should be fine.
I was going to say, is that why I've got no money? So I can't blame it on the data link.
I've never gone to Monzo just because I've never needed to. I might give it a try one day. The data leak was a bit of a controversial situation that kind of put it in a bad view, in my opinion, but
Yeah.
I can clearly see it has also been a very good app to use at the same time. The other controversy is the guy, the CEO or founder of it, stopped attending his own financial reports
Oh, don't tell me this.
and did an AI generated one where he just got an AI version of himself to answer every question.
Oh, no.
Sorry, am I ruining your picks now?
But the exchange rate was really good. I mean, was it worth giving all my data to them? I don't know.
No data leaks for the last 4 years or 3.
Exactly. I've had it for 6 months, so it's fine. And then my other app, and this is my final app, is something you might be interested in if you don't already know. And it's for video shooters who are shooting mirrorless with a fairly modern camera, and that's Monitor Plus.
Yes. Yeah. I forgot about that app when I got an iPhone. I meant to download that.
So the free version is great. I used it for a day and was convinced it was worth paying for. Pay £20 for the fully unlocked version, and you get all of your scopes, you get LUTs, you get in-camera recording, you get touch focus, and you just get your glorious phone screen as a monitor, as opposed to using your little 3.5-inch screen that you have in camera. It works wirelessly, but I advise using it USB-C if you've got the capability to do so. Only downside is it doesn't work with older cameras, so it only works with one of my free cameras.
I'll have to see if it works with mine then. There was another app that I followed for a bit that came out maybe last year, year before, that does the same kind of thing, but that one's only paid for, so I never gave it a try.
Yeah.
Proton Authenticator is now my authenticator of choice. I've swapped from Google to Proton, and it's just a nice design. You don't even have to have a Proton account. You can just put all of them in there. If you do have a Proton account, it syncs to the one on your computer or your iPad, and it's just been useful in that way. And it's so nicely designed.
Quick question: is it easy to transfer or migrate to a different authenticator?
Not with Google, no.
Okay.
Google's system is we'll put a QR code up and you have to scan the QR code. But the problem is, I had already raised my last phone, and the thing was the QR code came up on the phone.
Yeah,
I don't know how Google didn't think about this.
they did.
They must have thought about this. The only way you can do it is by scanning it with a different phone. So I had to go and get my old phone and scan that, get that file, and send it to my current phone. That is insane. Don't do that, Google. Just let me download it. I was not happy.
Listen, when you try and download your Google Photos using their Takeout app, talk to me. You haven't experienced bad until you've experienced
I
that.
have used the Takeout app fairly recently. I'm not going to disclose why because I don't want the app to disappear. Uh, Google, don't listen to this, but it's a very good app. I won't mention it. Maybe I'll hide it somewhere on the links. Maybe might be able to find it. I had to export my entire YouTube subscription library out, and I had to use that thing. And it's not the most simplistic way that they could have done any of it.
No, it's definitely done on purpose.
Yeah, I accidentally exported my entire YouTube library, which was 360 gigs, so I couldn't download it.
And did it break it down into 4 gig chunks?
Yeah, I selected the 2 gig option, so I had even more files.
And then what happens is if you download more than 3 at once, they start failing. And if you try and I downloaded 139 of them over a few days, and some of them failed. So I went to click them back. And if you do them more than 4 times, it then gets you to re-export the whole lot again. But of course, in that time, your Google Photos library has grown. Well, mine has. So now different files are part of different number packages, and it is ridiculous.
A lot of people say that Apple is very bad, not allowing these other platforms to do anything. I think Google is just as bad, but they're more secretive about it.
Yeah.
The other app I've got to recommend is Carrot Weather app. It's a sarcastic weather app. It's very entertaining. It just takes the mick all the time. And it's just a very funny app to have. And it's also fairly customizable, so you can have it the way you want it to be. And I kind of trust it more than Apple. I definitely trust it way more than the Nothing Weather app. That was always wrong.
Nothing. I've got a weather app.
They had a weather widget and it just didn't work. No, I think
Okay.
they do have a weather app as well, but only on the Android. So I think it's just using the basic version. And I guess my last recommendation, app wise, is Apple TV. I have a few more categories after this that I will discuss very quickly afterwards.
Okay, I heard some bad things about the Apple TV app. No, I'm not. I don't have it. But I heard since the update, it's pretty shocking in terms of visuals.
I've not noticed a difference. Literally, it took me 2 days to realize that the Apple TV app had even changed.
Or like the buttons on the phone and whatnot. Apparently, are really
Oh,
silly.
they look stupid. Yeah, no, I will go with that. The whole media player on the iPhone kind of looks really silly. I don't think they needed to do that. They could have just left it how it was looking before.
Yeah.
But the app itself has such good content in it, and it's so much easier to use than most of the platforms. Channel 4, it's just so much better than all these platforms. Amazon TV, that I can just easily navigate. So much better. iPlayer, you're also not so good.
Floribus,
Yeah, I've definitely been watching that. Yeah, it's been good. Really enjoying that.
John Cena.
That surprised me. I didn't expect him to be there at all.
It's great.
It's a slight spoiler though. I've also been watching Down Cemetery Road, which is from the writer that did Slow Horses. It's okay.
Okay.
It's not as good as Slow Horses, but it's still been entertaining to watch.
Mhm.
What was the app you were going to recommend?
I've forgotten. It's a weather app, but I must have deleted it, so it can't be that good.
Oh,
It basically would tell you. So I was in Amsterdam and we were trying to predict rain, and someone recommended this app. I can't remember what it's called, but it predicts rain down to the second and location where you are, and it's so accurate down to the second.
wow.
But then when I got home, I kind of forgot about it and deleted it. But we were like, it's going to rain up to this street and it's going to stop, and it would do that.
Well, after the recording, you must look through your download history and see if you can get that, and I can put it in the description. Four more suggestions: best newcomer and best app of the year. And I had two apps that I'm trying. I'll start with the two apps I'm trying.
Okay.
Newcast is a kind of minimal podcasting app. I would swap to it, but it doesn't have enough. It doesn't have any statistics for me. It doesn't keep how many hours I've watched, or listened to, because it's a podcasting app.
Mm.
It's very nicely designed, and if you don't care about any of that stuff, I highly recommend you go and use it. It's easy. The only downside I had is when you sign up for the app, it makes you select a bunch of podcasts, and none of them were the ones I was listening to. So I had to select a few, immediately delete them, and then go into the import thing, which should be a button just on that page that says select a few podcasts, and then imported my library, which I just keep ready now. The other app is Habitastic, which is a habit tracking app that literally you fold it like going through pages.
Oh,
It's visually nice. I haven't used it that much because I'm a big TickTick user. You kind of just fold the last pages away,
okay.
and then at the top there's some text that recommends, like, today you should read a book from Goodread. It's an interesting design app. I don't use it.
Mac, does your expensive camera not have product focusing?
It does, but I turned it off.
Oh, okay. So I was just trying to get at you a bit
Nah, you can't.
there.
Best newcomer is the app I use now on a daily basis, which is Daylish, Daylish. It is such a good widget-based app. You don't have to use it as a widget. I mean, the base app itself is also designed very well, but I love the widget the most.
A visual schedule.
Yep. It just shows what you've got on the day, and it puts it just in like a running order. It's great.
Okay. Looks like calendar.
Yeah, but it has a timer on it. So it will do an active timer until the moment, and then it will do an active timer until the end of the moment, which has just been great for when I'm in classes.
Yeah.
You've got this 15 minutes and 30 seconds to get to the class, and then you've got 30 minutes left of the class. It's just been very useful. And in one of their updates, they added the ability to add your transit to it as well. So you can get it all calculated for you, and it's just very useful. And I've got it always on my home widgets everywhere.
When you go to sleep at night, do you think, yeah, I've worked out how much time it took me to get to class and how much to get out?
Well, it makes it a lot easier to run. I've been desperately looking for one of those apps that tells you on the top of your corner, like in the corner of the MacBook, it tells you how much of a percentage of the day is gone, because I want to get as much done in the day as possible.
Yeah. Don't we have clocks though?
We do, but I mean, the percentage is way better. I have on my Raycast, I have my percentage of the year left.
Where would your percent start? Would it start at midnight or the time you wake up? How would that measure what and
Well,
define what 100% is?
midnight to midnight.
Midnight to midnight. So you'd already wake up having lost 30% of your day.
Yeah. And then best app of the year for me has to be Affinity. It has almost replaced my entire Adobe workflow in the span of a month.
Yeah.
So I'm thoroughly impressed with it. I have not touched Illustrator in a long time now. Same for Photoshop. I haven't gone back. I don't need to.
Wow. I mean, that's a massive achievement for an app to be able to take a long time Photoshop user away. Would have been impossible 5 years ago.
I've been using Photoshop and Illustrator since I was 8. So I'm very happy to have something else challenge them. So I've got 3 in each section. I've split it up into media, YouTube, film and TV, books, and games. Because I actually read a book this year.
Well done.
Quotations, because I listened to it.
Because you listened to it, yeah.
Yeah. First one I'll do is YouTube. These are just a bunch of YouTubers that I want to shout out. Becca Farce has definitely been one of the best tech reviewers the last 2 years. She got an award last year from Road for being one of the best content creators. She used to work at The Verge and did all of the short clips of events to try and shorten them down while they were going.
Yeah.
And she reviewed a lot of cameras, and I kind of followed her off of that onto her own channel, and it's just been amazing. Every video is so well edited. It's entertaining to watch. And I think my favorite video of her has to be, I think it might be called The Simple Phone or something like that. It was a very, Minimal Phone maybe. Minimal Phone 2 or 3. And then Cam Shand, I think that's his name, is an Australian guy that I started watching his stuff when he was building an acrylic desk and putting a bunch of tech savvy stuff in it that was quite useful. And now he's kind of gone on to organizing his office. Oh, I just remembered Matthew and Cena. He's really good. He got me into customizing everything. Both me and my dad ended up wanting to redo our offices and desks and all that. Highly recommend his videos.
Okay.
Especially his earlier ones up to the new ones. They've been great. Finally, the Stockpot is another Australian whose entire channel is dedicated to just automating the house. So each time he tries a new way of lights or panels on the wall for organization, that's my YouTube recommendations.
I think you use YouTube a lot differently than what I use YouTube for.
It's about 90% tech now.
90% tech, but you follow people in a similar way that I guess people follow brands or things they like. And I use YouTube for the subject rather than the YouTuber. So it'd be very hard for me to recommend a channel because I'll be, for example, when I bought my NAS, all my YouTubers were people who are into networking and, you know, that sort of stuff. But I'd never go back to them again. I just needed to do that research for that month. I guess my go-to YouTubers don't change much over the time. Where the keys at?
That's you.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where the keys at? That's what I watch.
I don't think we're allowed to just. All right. I watch a lot of Mac Blah. He's a very good YouTuber. Actually, that's a lie. I never watch my own stuff when it comes out. I can't bear watching my own stuff.
You're tired of it by then, surely.
Yeah. Okay, let's do one that would be way more easier for you, based on the fact you do radio. Music. I've been listening. I got a Rival Consoles vinyl earlier this year, which was really good, called Landscape of Memory. Yasmin Lacey, Teal Dreams. Of course, I'm putting another Yasmin Lacey in. I've done that almost every year that we've done this. Went to go and see her live again. And one that didn't come out this year is Mono Lake, which is a very German-style electronic album. Very nice.
Okay.
One of my favorite songs on it, I don't actually remember the name of it, but it's like recordings of a train station.
Okay.
Global Transport is the name of the song.
So the track is made of recordings from the atmos of a station.
Yeah.
I done that first. I should send it to you. I made a track with in New York, and it's called Subway. And I spent the morning on the subway and was just recording with a Zoom recorder everywhere I went, and built a track out of the announcer and the bongs and the doors. I love it. It's like a hip hop, and it sounds really New York as well, like really New York hip hop instrumental.
Closest I ever got to that was I made a song out of a spray can. I just went.
Really?
Yeah. It's on SoundCloud. Not SoundCloud. Bandcamp somewhere.
Oh, Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a couple of albums. As I said, most of my listening age is my age because I listen to a lot of 90s and early 2000s stuff. But this year, interestingly, I'm just looking at my what I've been listening to. I really liked the White Lotus soundtrack this year. The White Lotus is an HBO show. I think it was in its third season this year, and it always has a really interesting soundtrack. And it changes drastically every season. And this season, it felt a lot like it was kind of James Blakey, but not quite, mixed with some tribal South American vibes. So I just listened to that a lot at night time. Bit weird, but it took me to another
Is it a
place.
good series?
Brilliant series. Yeah, yeah, really good series.
I have to give it a watch then.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, okay. So season one won loads of awards. It was a limited series at first, but then it was so successful they decided to take the concept and move it around the world. Brilliant. When you're talking about casts, just the casts are great, the stories are great, and it's quite funny as well. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Next album, one a British album from an artist who's also a producer, and I've loved him since he was around 25 years ago. His name is Deneo, and he's got an album called Spectrum, which came out this year, and it's got a nice blend of kind of there's some gospely type tracks, but then there's some grimy dubby tracks on there too, and I respect him because he's a producer, writer, collaborator. So that's really cool. And the last one I'm really surprised to say is Dave. And I'm surprised to say that because I've never been a fan of Dave or that style of rap. But Dave brought an album out this year called The Boy Who Played the Harp. It's a 10-track album and it's a change of gear album. And I love it when artists have that third or fourth album where they decide, I can do that thing I started with. Let me try this thing. And that's what he's done with this album. It's produced a lot by James Blake, actually. He done 4 or 5 tracks. And then I'm going to forget the other guy's name. Please forgive me. Brilliant album, musically, concept wise. It hasn't made a lot of noise in the charts, but I think it's going to be a defining album for him.
Hmm. I've never heard of Dave.
You've never heard of Dave? Okay. He's I'd say arguably he's one of the top two UK rappers in the last 5 or 6 years.
Do you know the only rapper I know?
British rapper, are we talking?
Yeah.
Or rapper?
Well, they are British, but it's the only rapper I know
Okay, go for it.
or listen to. Dizzy Rascal.
Okay, so
Only one.
you're about 20 years out. Two
Yeah,
thousand
yeah.
and three he came out. I think if you check out Dave, and there's one song on there that if you don't check out any of the others, it's called Chapter 16, and the music video as well. Just watch the music video. You'll fall in love with him. It's a song about him talking to a rapper who's 20 years older than him and basically asking him for advice. But it's a conversation 6 minute song. And they shot the video in one take, very similar to Adolescence. They're just sitting in a restaurant talking, but it's brilliant and you'll really appreciate the way the video is shot.
Hmm. Oh, okay. I'll give that a watch. I got to shout out one more song as well, which you played on the radio as well. It May Gabriel's "Faultlessness," which is a friend of mine who's been. When I first heard that, I thought it was amazing. So I thought I'd shout that out right now.
Nice.
Also played that on my first radio show that I did. My next section is film and TV. You kind of already delved into White Lotus, so I guess that might be one of yours.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine for this year, if I start off with TV series, I thoroughly enjoyed Alien Earth. That was a really good series, and I can't wait for the next season of that. If there is a next season, I think there is.
I don't think there is.
You don't?
Well, one wasn't announced and it didn't make the Nielsen charts at all, which is never a good sign.
What's the Nielsen chart?
So Nielsen measure all sorts of media, and normally when your series makes the Nielsen charts, it's a good sign and they get renewed. And if they don't make the Nielsen charts, shows don't get renewed, basically. It didn't make any Nielsen charts at all.
I've never heard of these charts.
If type Nielsen, I think they're the biggest aggregator of media in the world. So.
Oh, well, that's slightly sad.
But traditional media, not it's traditional. So they measure like, how many views you got on HBO, things like that.
The other series is Silo. I thoroughly enjoyed Silo. Well, I still am enjoying Silo, and I cannot wait for the next season of that, which does have another season before you ruin that for me. And then the two movies I've got is the Superman movie that came out this year. I was surprised with how much I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I was ready to be upset and not enjoy that, but it was really good. And I thoroughly enjoyed House of Dynamite, which was a flop when it came out. But it's about how the world, well, mostly America, would be under pressure if a missile went off or something like that, and they all had to lock down.
I loved the first two acts.
I thought it was very well done the whole way through, and the ending surprised me. I'm not going to say any more than that.
It's Kate, is it Catherine or Kate Bigelow?
I don't remember.
She's great. She done The Hurt Locker, and another movie I liked, and I forget what it
I
is.
think she's in Silo as well, like as the main person. I thought it was really good, and I really enjoyed it. I know that America is not very happy with it because they deny that it works that way, but it's a movie. I'm fine with just enjoying it for the fact that it is a movie.
Nice. Okay, here goes my shows. I'll skip through them quickly. So we've already got The White Lotus. Go and watch The
I've
White
just
Lotus.
realised that's what you were doing, wasn't it? You were scrolling through your TV to figure out what you've watched.
I'm looking at my history. There's so many good shows. So The Studio. I can't believe you didn't mention The Studio.
I did not like The Studio.
I love The Studio. Seth Rogen, I think it's an 8-episode, 5-day story following the head of a fictional studio. Quite funny, quite insightful. The Pit is another one I caught this year. It actually came out last year, and I followed it from the hype because it got lots of awards. The Pit is one day. If you liked 24, but you didn't like the over the top drama, it's the same concept. It's one day. Each episode is an hour in the emergency room in Pittsburgh. So it's called The Pit because it's like there's no money here, and it's made by real medical people. So medical people love watching it as well, and they like criticizing it and whatnot. Great episode. It's about the drama of all the sort of staff there. Peacemaker. Loved Peacemaker season 2.
Not watched it either.
Although it wasn't as successful as they wanted it to be, it links to Superman a lot as well. When they shot Superman, they shot lots of Peacemaker, so lots of the stuff is in Peacemaker and looks very similar.
Oh, that's interesting.
In fact, Peacemaker is in Superman. That's one of the crossover bits. And I discovered this year a show that's been out for 2 seasons. I've just caught up, and that's Tulsa King, Sylvester Stallone.
Tulsa King.
Tulsa King, and it's about Sylvester Stallone being in his 70s, coming out of jail after 25 years, and being excommunicated from New York to go and make a new town as a drug dealer, and the town is Tulsa, and it's just brilliant.
Huh. Might give that one a watch. I've got to explain with The Studio, I wasn't a fan of it for a few reasons. I'm not a fan of Seth Rogen that much.
I love him.
I've always found him a little bit not something I enjoy. And I found it very stressful to watch. It was very well shot. I can appreciate how well it was shot and how beautiful every scene looked.
Yeah.
But I probably won't be watching the next season of it because it was so stressful to watch. And I was at university coming to the end of my first year and having to get all my work handed in, and sitting down to watch that show did not help.
None of us mentioned another big Apple show that came out this year, by the way, in the second season.
Is it going to be Severance?
Yeah.
Very good series. I think it's got too much publicity. Well, not too much publicity. I think it's doing very well. I don't think I need to call it out because everyone knows it's a really good series. It's really doing quite well.
Yeah.
While Silo, I think is also a really good series, isn't being mentioned as much.
Silo, okay. We'll leave it there.
You don't like Silo?
It lost its way in season 2.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's based on a book.
Well, the book lost its way too, but it just doesn't feel the same anymore.
I'm worried about the next season because apparently they're changing the color palette because people have been complaining that it's too dark.
It is very dark, yeah.
But
I agree.
I like it.
And I used to watch it during the day on a Friday morning as well, so it was just difficult to watch.
My first uni project back into my second year was doing a title sequence for Silo, and I just published that on Instagram as well.
Oh, cool.
Next one is books.
Okay.
I have one book. That is it. And it is Apple in China. I listened to that after it getting recommended quite a lot, and it's about the history of how Apple managed to have such a massive production system in China and how they now can't leave it. And they're kind of asking, or not asking, kind of begging the US to find a way to get them out of this deal as well.
Oh wow.
Because before you kind of think, oh well, this must be terrible for Apple. They must be getting really annoyed that they cannot produce everything in China. But then you listen to this audiobook and you go, oh, it's not so black and white. It's kind of grey, and trying to figure out how all of this works. It's not that they want to leave China, but also they don't like the rules that they are putting on them as well. It's the only place that manages to have rules over Apple.
Right. Okay. That sounds interesting.
It's a very good book.
Apple in China.
Apple in China. The one I listened to was on Apple Books, funny enough, and it uses the Amazon recording as well. And there was only one or two times, actually quite a few times in one chapter where I heard them redubbing over. The rest sounded absolutely seamless.
Okay.
And then the other audiobook I have listened to, I didn't write it down, but I thought I should mention it now, is the Silo book, the first one. That was really good as well.
Okay, so I haven't read many books this year. One that stands out to me though, which I finished again on holiday. I tend to read a lot on holiday. Is an old book. It came out in 2008, and it's about one of my hip hop heroes. I like biographies, and it follows the life of Prodigy, and it still sticks with me now.
Prodigy?
It's, Prodigy is a rapper, not the group. Prodigy is a
Oh,
rapper from a duo called Mobb Deep. One of their tracks got voted the best hip hop beat in history this year, and it is if you ever watched Eminem 8 Mile, have you ever watched 8 Mile by Eminem,
nope.
the movie? Okay, it's got a famous battle scene, and they use a Mobb Deep track at the end. But Prodigy was one half of a duo called Mobb Deep, and he died of sickle cell in 2013, I believe. But he released a book in 2008, 2009, which caused a lot of controversy. And it's just one of those books where you just can't believe someone who lived 31 years had done so much in their life and was so imperfect, but also so respected. And it's stuck with me. And I read it with my eyes.
Your eyes.
Yeah.
Wow. I've tried reading books quite a few times. The last book that I read was Masters of Doom, which was about how the first Doom game was made, and I haven't finished it to this day. Still, I've even got it in audio book version. I still haven't finished it there.
It's a great way to get to sleep.
A book that I've been meaning to get round to, I've just got here, is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a, and I won't say the last word. I don't actually know what it's about. I'm intrigued to read it. I just like the book cover. It's literally the reason why. Last category I've got is games, which I don't think you'll probably have anything to contribute to.
Connections, does that count?
What, the New York Times?
Yeah. So I play the Connections every morning. That's the game, the only game I play. I'm addicted to it.
I've just started playing that, like, this month.
It's great, right?
Yeah, I've been really enjoying that. It's the only time I log on. I log on to New York Times, I do that, and then I log off again.
What you need to do is pay for it, and then you can go back and into the archive because you only get one a day, right?
Yeah, I just found a website that rips all the archive ones, and I did that. That was cheaper.
What?
Yeah, I just Googled it. Just did Connections Archive.
Oh, why didn't I think of that? Okay, great. I think I only paid something stupid. It was less than a tenner anyway, so
Isn't it built into Apple News now as well?
don't know. I haven't opened it up
No,
before.
I did use Apple News for a bit, and I didn't like it. About 4 months when it first came out on my iPhone 5, I think.
Yeah,
I tried it and I didn't like it because I like to customize and make sure that I only get the news I want.
yeah.
And that wasn't a feature. It was only the world news when I don't want the world news. I get plenty of that everywhere.
So what's your game then?
Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot about that. One is called Ball X Pip. Terrible name, but really fun game. It's just kind of Pong or Peggle, but it's more competitive than that, and more like a dungeon crawler version of Pong. It's fun.
Okay.
Or Brick Breaker. That's the easier one. It's Brick Breaker, but a dungeon crawler, and you just have to hit bad guys with this ball that gets upgraded and stuff like that. It's a good time waster. It's on my Steam Deck along with Balatro, and I will play that when I'm on the train.
That was an oxymoron. A good time waster. A good time waster? Like there can't be a good time waster.
I think there's plenty of good time wasters.
Any waste of time is not good.
No, you need to waste time. Like when you're sat on that train, what are you doing?
You could, if you want to think about time in that way, you could be mastering that time. You could be reading a book.
I can't read on the train. It's too bumpy. I've tried doing work on the train. I've tried making it productive, and I end up either falling asleep or being unable to read anything and straining my eyes. So I always either put on a podcast because that's the way I'll usually consume most news, both tech and everything else, and playing a game at the same time. Or most of the time, I'll play a game for about 5 minutes, put it down, and just listen to the podcast. Although the other day, when I was getting the train up, I fully fell asleep with my mouth open and everything. I'm thoroughly embarrassed about that.
Nice.
And the other game is Jump Space, which is pretty much what I've wanted for a while. And there was a game that came out from Bethesda a few years ago where it was about traveling through space, and I thought, well, that sounds fun. And then I saw the gameplay and I went, that's not what I want. This is Jump Space is just again a dungeon crawler kind of game, but you play with a bunch of friends and they've all got to maintain the spaceship so you can go and shoot enemies and stuff like that. Very fun game. It does not run well on any of the machines I own, which is why I need to upgrade.
Hmm.
Actually, after we recorded, like the day after we recorded the last one, the Valve released a new console, which I'm very excited about.
Okay.
That's all of the game stuff. I knew that would be a quick section. We didn't talk about our phones. Okay, right. Go first. Send the photo. I'll go first.
Photo of what?
Your desktop.
Mine's gonna look the same.
Yours is. You haven't changed yours?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Mine's very complex, as you'd probably expect from me.
Yeah. Well, you've changed your whole phone, so
Yeah. So my computer hasn't changed that much.
how have you sent this to me?
Messages. So one's a video, which should show you how complex my phone's got. Right, let's look at your phone first. Yep, it is practically the same as it was the year before.
There you go. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You've still got the Tesla app as a widget. You've got all your folders and everything. And you've got the Yale security check thing.
Absolutely.
You've gone for, with your design, you've gone for the kind of the wider text for the clock, which I'm surprised by. And you're still keeping with the glass look. You haven't turned that off at all.
No, I was surprised that I went for that big long clock too, because I thought it looked ugly at first, but it's actually really useful. It might not look great, but it's glanceable.
I didn't take any photos of my lock screen, but I've also got the long clock on, just because it kind of spaces it out properly, and I'm much more of a fan of it. Okay, so what I sent you, if we start off with my desktop, actually, my computer, it should be fairly the same.
I didn't get that one.
You didn't get that one.
Oh, no, I did. Sorry, with the black and white photograph.
Yeah.
Yep.
I changed the wallpaper. It's now that photo of the Horatio event when we were in London. And I've still got the lickable glass bar because I tried it without, and I just like that look way more.
Yeah.
And I've even turned back on having the bar at the top on the new OS. And I moved my widgets from the right to the left now. That was the only change I have. Oh, and I put on the Dalish widget on there that tells me sleep in 3 hours, battery, photo of my family, and my GitHub repo, which just tells me how often I upload from my Obsidian.
Nice.
Here's the complex one. Have you got the video?
Yes, I have. It's playing through you, flicking through your.
So I have a lot of focus modes set up. I have 6 or 7 focus modes. I've got work, sleep, fitness, weekend, education, and recording.
Wow.
Those are all the ones I've got. Recording is currently what's active, which just makes my screen have the content planner, which is what we use to arrange all of the Wonky recordings, my schedule, and a timer, which just keeps track of how long we've been recording for. And my education one, each one has a custom wallpaper as well that changes color and tells you what mode I'm in. The wallpaper took ages. I've got multiple iterations of trying to get that right. Weekend's probably the most different one because that actually has apps. If you notice by looking at it, I've mostly got widgets on the top bit.
I'm now onto weekend now. Okay, yeah, I see it.
And yeah, I'm happy with it. It's incredibly different, and that's kind of more focused towards allowing me to have access to social media, all these apps that I usually won't have access to.
I like that we've both kind of mostly, because you have got a bit of red in yours too, but we've mostly gone for the kind of a black and just a black, dark theme, monotone.
I've had the black and white phone theme since the Pixel 3a.
Okay.
I started because I noticed a battery increase because it was doing a lot less because I had no LED
Yeah.
display. And then I just ended up finding it was a lot easier to track anything. And then I've also got sleep, which just gets rid of all of the widgets I don't need. Just has weather, time that I'm waking up, and it has all of the home automations I can run, which is currently something I need to have because if I don't have that widgets there, I can't control any of the lights in my bedroom.
You could use your voice.
I could use my voice. In the side section, which I actually don't remember the name of, I've just got a larger version of my calendar, a larger version of my to-do lists, watch list, which is an app I've currently got installed just to wait for anything Valve announced, and the widget that goes with parcels to tell me when I've got deliveries. I have a shortcut in my hotbar. I only have 3 apps in my hotbar, which is Quiche, which is my browser, because it's a customizable browser running Safari, but all of them run Safari in the background. Proton password manager, Proton Authenticator, and then I have a shortcut that's just a plus icon that when I click, it has all these other apps come up, such as Reader, Discord, WhatsApp, phone, camera, mail, OpenVibe, which is my social media app, and one app I won't mention because I don't want Google to know about it.
Yeah. Oh no. What is it?
Not saying. It's the one I mentioned earlier.
Well, I think it's safe to say that yours has changed drastically compared to last year.
This is why I wanted to get on iPhone because I wanted to have access to focus modes.
Yeah.
And now that I've got it, it is amazing to have it set up like this, especially the education mode, which is done automatically. The moment I walk into my class, it's on both on my computer and my Mac. My computer and my phone. And that just means no one can contact me. I'm fully focused in on my lesson. And I can quickly press from that page using the transit widget when I need to go home. I know I talked a lot then, but I just needed to quickly get through that because I know I have a lot to talk about.
Probably need to give you my phone and set my focus modes up because I just don't. When they first came out, I tried them and I maybe need to give them another go.
The one I thought was the most ridiculous is Weekend, but it's been so useful to have it set up just so
Yeah.
I have because I notice whenever I message you, it always says Eli's notifications are silenced.
Yeah.
Are you stuck on Do Not Disturb all the time then?
I think so, yeah. Because people always say, I can't call you. Why can't I call you?
You
I
should
kind of like it though.
you should just set up a focus mode that you call normal, which has it out of focus all the time, or have people unable to contact you, and then have that just turn off when it gets to the weekend, or something like that.
Yeah.
That would probably be a way better approach and means a lot less focus modes for you,
Yeah.
and that might just be a better way of doing it. I did think about doing that myself, but I kind of was a bit late on that and should have done that at the beginning.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. And in fact, yeah, that is my focus mode that's doing that. I actually got into a situation where I left somewhere the other night and it was pouring with rain. And when I got back home, I drove. And when I got back home, the person I was with was on Messenger like an hour later saying, I was phoning you because I didn't have a way to get home and I had to walk home in the rain. And I thought, oh, yeah, you can't call me. So I'll have to look into that.
I did forget something. I'm scrolling through the video now. I have a shortcut set up on my phone that I just triple tap. Yeah, triple tap on the back. It brings up my task widget I set up, so I can quickly note something down in it, press done, and because I use so many different task managers, I use my calendar, tick and tot. I can just tap one of those, set a
It
date,
goes to that.
and it goes to that. It's been very useful to do it that way because I'm a big note taker.
Yeah,
So that's just the last one I can mention. I think that's everything.
that looks cool.
You don't want to know how long it took to make that wallpaper. I kept trying. With the new glass look, it's so difficult to actually make it look nice, I found.
Yeah.
So that's probably the sixth version of that background.
And that's just a gradient, but it's not just a gradient.
No, it's a gradient and with a liquid glass filter over the top of it
Okay.
to separate it from the background and the bottom. I do have a photo of what my phone looked like about 2 months ago. Oh, there it is. In fitness mode, which I have got set up, which just means I have access to podcasts. I have a lot of the stuff on like a carousel. I just swipe up, especially in the middle. I've tried to keep like a unified system, like two small widgets at the top and then one long one at the bottom. Just allows me to swipe through things quickly.
Right.
That's what my phone looked like a few months ago.
Oh wow. Okay, with the green.
Yeah, it had a gradient going the opposite way to how it is now. I didn't like the look of it because it just everything had this horrible green or red or orange, and I kind of just wanted it to stay more consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your best moment of the year? What happened this year that was memorable?
That's a really broad.
I know it's a broad question
Ah,
because I got to think of it myself. I hadn't done any planning for this at all. This was something I added this morning.
geez. I mean, I had a big year, but little wins are measured differently by different people. So it's all about perspective. I guess one of my favorite parts of the year was driving at night time in America in a big old caravan. I think that was quite a cool thing to do that I've never done before. But then I've had some little wins this year too, looking back. Oh, can't really think. Driving in America and nearly crashing at night time was one of the highlights of my year.
Nearly crashing.
Yeah,
That's a
so you
highlight.
have, yeah, because it was just funny. You have like this whole right on red situation in Florida, which means you can go through red lights, as long as it's clear, but not really realizing that it's only right you can go. I literally skipped across the center of what do they call them, intersections, and just had to slam my foot down and nearly get hit in the rain at night time in a thunderstorm. So that was a highlight. When it was over, it was luck. It was funny. How about you?
My favorite moment is quite early on in the year, actually. It was when I did my third live stream for Transient Radio. We went down to London and we recorded in this pub called the Horatio or the Horatia, something like that. And I just, it was a lovely day. It didn't feel like I was working at all. I sat down at my computer, processed some photos that I'd taken from the day with a coffee, and it was lovely and sunny. All the windows were open. It was just amazing. And the music was just something added on top of that. I absolutely loved that.
And you were on Tottenham High Road, right? And no one got stabbed.
No?
Brilliant day.
Brilliant day. Perfect day. I don't know what else kind of tops that. I trying to remember what happened this year. Seeing Yasmin Lacey was great,
Yeah.
but I have seen Yasmin Lacey the year before as well and got her to sign a book. Picking up the Macintosh was quite an interesting day. It is difficult to look back on the year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is really what I'm gonna miss is my Google Photos reflection of the year because that used to really help.
One thing I will mention this year, I've been using or been taking a lot more photos for with my cameras and all that. And I'm probably going to do a video where I talk about my favorite photos of the year, just because I have so many that have kind of captured amazing moments for me. On the opposite, what is the worst of the year?
Can I say the same thing as the best? No, that's a really difficult question, isn't it? The worst part of my year.
I can mark the moment for me very
Go
easily.
for it.
It's when the tariff stuff came in,
Yeah.
because that has ruined absolutely everything in this year. It's been
Mm.
difficult to buy stuff for Christmas. It's caused problems with trying to sell stuff. Financially, it screwed the majority of the world over. I know America has got it way worse at the moment, but it's kind of confused everything. And I can't even buy a new machine now without knowing if it will be the same price by the time I actually have the money to buy it. It's difficult to save up for anything, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So whenever the tariffs came in this year, that was not great.
For me, I think is when the P Diddy documentary dropped.
The P. Diddy,
The P Diddy documentary on Netflix came out. this year about 2 weeks ago, and it was the worst moment for me because the documentary is so popular, is number one above Stranger Things, that
Mm.
I'm being criticised for listening to music that P. Diddy produced in the 90s anymore. I can't play it anymore. So that's a low for me. 50 Cent made it.
The interesting thing about talking to you about music is I don't know any of the music that you talk about. It's a whole interesting approach.
I always find it interesting when something is so big in someone's life and I've never heard of it, never seen the people before, and they can't believe it. You realize how much space there is for people to have their things
Mm.
in, and it be theirs.
Like I'm a big electronic music person. I like Max Cooper, and you probably never listened to
No,
Max Cooper Revival Consoles or anything like that.
yeah,
Just a different taste. Not bad, not good, different taste.
absolutely.
So this year, beginning of this year, I said that this year was the year of personal growth. If you remember me doing these things of having a year of something, and I think I've mostly achieved this, but I kind of want to improve on it a bit more and set the next year as the year of more. Just doing more things, accepting to doing more things, going out more, just more.
Yeah.
That is my target for the next year. And that's my yearly theme done in like a split second. All is done. Been panicking about that and trying to figure that out for months now.